Welcome to Real Estate in Fort Wayne and Northeastern Indiana. We're on our final section of the purchase agreement. If you remember from the beginning, the purchase agreement is 7 pages long. We are now on page 6 of 7. Here we have section 23, further conditions, which anything can be written into that section. Normally we like to list and attach any addenda. Addenda is just plural for addendum. You have your lead-based paint addendum, your seller's residential real estate sales disclosure form, and your alternative dispute resolution addendum. We'll talk about addendums in another blog, but that is where we would list everything that's going to be attached to become an integral part of the contract. Also, I like to put in that the buyer is to diligently pursue a loan commitment within the time frames referenced on the contract. And if they cannot receive it at that length of time, then they would get all of their earnest money back and this would become null and void. It is stated on page 1 that if they can't get their financing, that they would be allowed to get out of the contract. I'd just like to reiterate it so that the seller does realize if my buyer would happen to lose their job or something happened to them, that they cannot get that financing, that they would be able to get out of the contract and get their earnest money back. It just kind of puts the seller on notice. Then if there might be anything obvious that needs to be repaired, I would put it in the contract itself, just to make sure that it is going to be taken care of by the seller. Then we say to consult advisors. You should, if you wish, consult a lawyer to find out if there's anything that's needing to be changed, except we aren't a lawyer state here. But if you wish, you can consult a lawyer, and you may even want to consult a tax consultant to see what type of ramifications you might have from the purchase agreement. Then we have the expiration of the offer. This is very crucial because if this offer is not responded to within the time frame here, then it becomes null and void. If you do wish to extend it, it has to be done in writing. Verbal extensions are not the correct way of doing things. Everything should be in writing. And then on the last page, we have the buyer's signature. Then the seller's response. And they can either say they accept the contract, they reject the contract, or the above contract is countered. And then a counter offer basically starts the contract time all over again. So if the seller doesn't accept the contract as is and does a counter, then all the time frames start again. We hope you've enjoyed this whole section on the purchase agreement. And if you have questions, give us an email or call us. And have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and a very happy New Year. And we'll see you next time at Real Estate in Fort Wayne and Northeastern Indiana.